Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Middara. So, I decided I realized I was kind of probably going too much in the support route. I mean, we're gonna have Zeke doing support, and Nightingale's already got a little bit of mending going, and eventually I'm gonna have Rook probably do some support eventually. So I'm thinking instead I'm gonna go ahead and get some archery feats for Nightingale, because I do kind of want to get the Bearer of Justice, so I want to go ahead and get that as good as possible. So there's really two choices for if you're going to go two-handed ranged weapon. Subterfuge definitely has access to all the ranged weapon stuff. And some of them only work with things like two one-handed ranged weapons or dual-wielding light weapons. But there's a couple that work on anything. There's also Murder Circus, which is where you just get a bunch of throws based off how high your subterfuge is, which is kind of neat, but it's per encounter, so it's a bit rough. And you can also get some free dodges that can reroll, and you can also move around without provoking break attacks, and this move is outside your normal movement, so you got some flexibility. But as far as like raw attacking is concerned with a bow, or with a longbow specifically, her options are she can either do quick blow, which makes it so if she hits, she can get a follow-up step of where she can spend a stamina to get an immediate another attack that can be on a different target. So essentially, she'll get another attack for half the cost. But that attack will not be able to. The quick attack can't. The quick blow cannot follow up another quick blow, essentially. So it's just one. It's a one-off thing. Kill the Messenger is specific to longbows. Or actually, correction, specific to two-handed ranged weapons. There's other ranged weapons besides longbows. When making an attack, if you roll the lowest result on a combat die, you can exhaust this to change that single die result to the highest. So that would be something like, alright, I accidentally rolled a 2 or a 1 here, and then bam, there are now 7s with symbols. It can be pretty useful, because it pretty much increases your chance of rolling the highest amount on a die. Essentially doubles your chance of rolling the highest value on a die. So I'm going to go ahead and grab Kill the Messenger. I have a little bit of experience using it. It's pretty useful. So that'll be 4 experience for her. So this setup's a little unique in the fact that I only have one person that's actually went up to level 2 disciplines. Everyone else stuck to level 1. Zeke's going to be focusing on support. Nightingale's switching over to a little bit more ranged damage. And then Rook is getting some stuff that'll help his mobility. So we'll see how that goes. Besides that, we need to go ahead and do some shopping. So we're going to go ahead and get Bearer of Justice. It's just a really good weapon. So we'll buy the Bearer of Justice. It's cost us 50. And it'll, let's see. Selling items is page 27. So we can go ahead and sell the other bow. There's no real reason to keep it. Selling a mundane item that's not unique gives you back 5 gold. So unfortunately this longbow didn't last as long as I expected it to. So 50 gold for the Bearer of Justice, and we're going to get back 5 gold for this. So it's going to be a total of 45 gold we're spending, which is going to bring us down to 86. So 86. That's fine. Besides that, though, it also we just bought the unique item from the shop. It does not get a new one, so that's the only unique item that we can get from the shop. We don't need any new cores. Deflection cores are cool, but we don't really need it. And I'm not really a fan of the ability cores. There we go. We're good on armor. We already have our armor. We have weapons, so the only thing we could possibly buy is accessories, relics, and consumables. I'm going to try to not buy consumables because we do have 2 utility cores, and I'm planning on just stockpiling items. But speaking of stockpiling items, so accessories are no longer tied to a rarity. So we actually have access to the accessories that are down here as well, including an adventurer's pack. And I'm actually very interested in buying one of those. I haven't tried using them yet. But essentially the way they work is they increase your pack size by 6. Usually your pack size is 3. And you can exhaust it to get a re-equip action at any time, which I think is a pretty good option. So I plan on having Zeke having all his thrown weapons. So I was figuring I'll go ahead and swap out his too many belts for an adventurers pack. And then what he can do is literally he can just throw out his throwing knives over and over again and just swap in new items as he needs them. So I think that's a pretty good option. So literally I can just stockpile a bunch of his thrown weapons in his pack and kind of just leave everything else alone. Everyone else is kind of good to go on that. I'll move this over a little bit, or try to. Alright, so that'll cost us 30 gold, and that'll leave us with too many belts, which I'm going to probably give to... I'll give it to Remy, because she has less armor than Rook. So that's going to cost us 30 gold, bring us to 56. Too many belts is a good item to pick up, by the way, but I think right now we have 3 accessories. That leaves an accessory slot open for somebody if we need it. So we have 56 gold left. The only things I'm really interested in as far as relics are concerned is I do want to buy a fight drive. The enchanted piercings are good because they increase your conviction and gives you a reroll once per encounter. That can be kind of useful. But we definitely want the fight drive, which is 15 gold. That'll put us at 41 gold left. And I'm going to be giving that to Nightingale to go with her other fight drive. Since the plan is going to be using Bearers of Justice, I'm going to be using things like the fight drive and then spending stamina to empower my attacks. So we definitely want all that going on. Now, one thing that's also... I do kind of want to get one of the earrings. I think I want to go ahead and get enchanted piercings. I'm a little curious of what's up ahead for us. So things like markings of strength, I'm going to be waiting for in the future to give to Remy to get her more hit points. But I think everything else I can kind of live without. So we got that going for us. Alright, so yeah. So yeah, I can pick up enchanted piercings. Yeah, I'll go ahead and pick up enchanted piercings. It'll cost me 15 gold, so that'll put us at 26 left. We'll grab one of those. And for now, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Nightingale. If we happen to pick up the other True Flight arrows, I'll pass the enchanted piercings to somebody else. So with this, she'll actually have 2 whites for her conviction now, which is pretty good. And that is pretty much it on that front. I don't think there's really any other shopping I want to mess with right now. We have our disciplines now. I don't think there's anything else I want to change. Another thing you can also do with the adventure pack, since the re-equip is free, is I could go and buy the throwing dagger, the thief daggers that are in here, and then be I throw my throwing axes, then I do the re-equip action, and then throw the thief daggers. That's something I might consider doing, but I'm probably going to wait until the next tier of knives to do that, just to expand his options. But yeah, I think that's it. So all we got left now is just to go pick. We can either continue with the main story or do side quest. There are 2 side quests. There's Loa Problems, which it definitely recommends doing that one first. And I definitely recommend the same thing. Then there's Cave Sickle Extermination. That's a bit of a longer side quest. And then you can do bounties. There's a book called the Bounty Book, which in the base game there's only 1, and it's 2 skull rank. The higher the skull rank of a bounty, the more difficult it is. Right now we can only do a 1 skull, and there are no 1 skulls available. And for the most part, the way the game does the rankings, it usually recommends you to do a bounty that is 1 rank lower than it's available. So for example, if we ever get access to rank 2s, it recommends doing rank 1 still, because that would be more within your strength level. So bounties are definitely designed to be a challenge. I haven't fully done a bounty. I did, I think, a first encounter of the first one, and it's no joke. It doesn't pull any punches. So with all that being said, I think we're good to go. I haven't reset health yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. And yeah, we'll reset our health. Yeah, I don't think we got anything else that adjusts stats or anything like that. Yeah, anything else we're going to be doing, we're going to be saving for later. Alright. So yeah, I kind of redistributed items between videos a while ago. Essentially, I'm getting Zeke all the thrown weapons. I gave Remy, and then I kind of distributed some heal items amongst everyone else, just to kind of spread things out a little. Just kind of see what my other options are. I want you to hold that juice box for now, and you can have that. Alright, so let's go ahead and pick a side quest. We're going to go ahead and do Loa problems, which is page 48, and let's go ahead and get started on that. Excuse me, a moment of your time. A man stepped out from an alley. He wore a plain brown cloak frayed at the edges and had long pointed ears. Nightingale stopped, subconsciously resting one hand on the hilt of her weapon. Yes? You're Princess Nightingale, King Balthazar's youngest daughter, he turned. And you're Zeke Zhang, right? Zeke sounded as uncomfortable as Nightingale felt. Who wants to know? The man retreated a step. My name's Thorold. I'm no one of consequence, just a desperate citizen who could use some help. Nightingale frowned. Her mind wandered back to the vault and the strange object resting on the dark pedestal. She banished the thought with a shake of her head. I'm sorry, but we're quite busy. And only recently citizens ourselves. I doubt we can help. Please! Thorold's hand shook as he drew something from her pocket. A strange crystal glinted, shockingly green in the afternoon sun. People have already been hurt. If someone doesn't do something, the lowest might kill next time. Rook reached out, setting one gentle arm on the man's shoulder. Thorold, please slow down. What are you talking about? He held the crystal out towards Nightingale. I didn't know the lowest were guarding it. They weren't around when I found it, and the man's whole body shook. Nightingale reached out, scooping the crystal up from his hand. It weighed quite a bit more than its size would suggest. A chunk of rough mineral without a single crack or imperfection. What is it? I don't know. Thor paused, inhaling sharply. He took a few seconds to compose himself before he went on. Princess, I found that not far from the city just a few days ago, on an altar I thought was abandoned. Turns out, well, I guess it belongs to the Loas. I just need someone to return it to where I found it. There's a road running through the forest near where I found it. I've already heard there are about 3 attacks. Nobody's died yet, but he met Nightingale's eyes desperate. I'd be willing to pay, if you could just bring the matter to the king's attention. I've got a better idea. We could take care of it for you. She turned to Zeke. You want to try something? Want to try some adventuring that isn't underground? Zeke shrugged. Sounds important. He gestured once behind them, at the street thick with people. Someone's got to keep them all safe. Thorold relaxed. If you can, try not to hurt the Loas. It was my damn fault. They shouldn't suffer because of what I did. I'll pay more if you can do it without killing any. Rook put his finger and thumb at the bridge of his nose and rubbed slowly. Nightingale, are you sure you don't want to tell the guards or maybe your brother? I'm sure that they'd take care of it. Nah. Authors are gone, and it's my family's responsibility to keep the people safe. This is some real Dungeons and Dragons crap. Just what I wanted. Rook only shook his head in response. Come, my knight. Escort me into the wilderness and help me slay some Loa. Nightingale marched away, raising each leg in an exaggerated fashion while holding her weapon high. Special. Choose one adventurer. The chosen adventurer gains the Loa crystal token. Place this token on their adventure card to indicate they are carrying it. Alright. Who's going to hold the football? Obviously our best football player, Rook Lars. Alright. And then we proceed to Lower Altar, page 50. The path into the forest leads you just outside of the city. The serene sounds of water can be heard to the south, and as you step out into a clearing, you find yourself greeted by a small pond. A fallen tree makes a natural bridge that leads towards some suspicious-looking piles of dirt. Further to the east, you see a pair of earth Loas. Luckily, they are far away, though you wonder if they will be of any concern. Through the thicket, you see a pedestal propped up on some old ruins. Placing the crystal and getting back shouldn't be too difficult, should it? So, this will be our first 3x3 map. We'll load the page, hopefully it works. Oh yes, it works. Did it throw anything away by accident? No, it didn't. So we're good to go on that. Alright, so one thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to push this thing up a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then move a little to the left, like so. There we go. So we got a little bit of room. Yeah, as you can see, this thing is big. And it looks like I'm just making sure the positions are right. Some of them were off in some of the maps I checked. Okay, it looks like they're all correct. We're starting here in this top left area, so we'll set up in just a second. We're probably going to want, I don't know, rook here. Put Zeke there. Remy, or Nightingale in the back. Remy in the front. All right, and we have our mundane consumable combat loot set up. That's good. So we got a bunch of stuff here. We have 3 objectives, 2 totems, 2 water loas, 2 earth loas. So we need to set those up. Win condition: the adventurer with the lower crystal places it on the altar, and then any adventurer finds and ends their turn on the blue exit. Lose condition: all adventurers are defeated, or the lower crystal is removed from the game. Alternate lose condition: the lower crystal was placed on the altar, but also adventurers were still defeated. Special encounter rules: keep your word. Keep track of how many water loas and earth loas you defeat during this encounter. So you could choose to slaughter all the loas, which you'll potentially get their drops, but you'll get a less quest reward. And honestly, it's a little bit more fun to try to actually not kill them, because it actually adds to the challenge. Lower crystal. If the adventurer with the lower crystal token is defeated, place the token in the space where they were defeated. Any adventurer may make an encounter action while on or adjacent to the token to pick it up. If the token is placed in dangerous terrain, it is removed from the game. If the token is in water terrain, currents move it at the end of every round. So yeah, if you're not careful and it gets in the water, it's going to get pushed off the edge eventually. And then special terrain, shaky log. When an adventurer moves out of the special terrain space printed on tile UM33, they must make an agility 10 check. If they fail in their movement and place their figure in a water terrain space adjacent to the special terrain space. And then you have strange cracks. The special terrain printed on tile UM35 has no effects. Slow current. All the currents will move you one space, essentially pushing you slowly south. And then there's a thing for the start of the encounter, but we'll get back to that. Objectives. Blue objective. An empty altar awaits its crystal. The adventurer with the crystal may make an encounter action while adjacent to this token to read the following text. So, blue objective is down here in the bottom right. Red objective. When an adventurer moves onto this token, read the following hidden text. Red token's right there. And then the last one, the green objective, only read the following hidden text if instructed to. Alright. Alright, so that's also... Oh, and then for the other special encounter stuff, something just moved. At the start of the first round of encounter, before the players have taken turns, read the following text. So we'll take care of that in a bit. So let's go ahead. I'll take a moment to go ahead and grab all the stuff that we need, and I'll be right back. Alright. So, got the Earth Loa and Water Loa. I also got our summon set up just in case. So, we're going to go ahead and I think everyone's in position. Everyone else is set up. Alright, so just checking last few things. Yes, we should be fine. Oh, actually, I need an orange die for Nightingale now. So, there we go. Alright, all that's gained. Let's go ahead and reset the initiative. Alright, there's our turn order. Now we have to read the something has just moved. As you look around the forest, you notice something in the nearby pond. A creature you don't recognize bursts from the water and attempts to pull one of you in. The adventurer on the southeast corner of the starting zone must make an agility 10 check. If they pass, read A. If they fail, read B. Unfortunately, that's the bottom one, right one. That's a Rook, and Rook is actually the lowest agility of our group at 1. So, we roll two purple dice and add 1 to it. He is also the person with the football. So, roll. 10 exactly, and plus 1 is 11. I am amazed he passed that agility check. I was expecting him to fail. I have yet to find out what happens when you fail. So, spawn a Merk Hound on the green objective token. The Merk Hound only has 10 defense. If the monster loot card is drawn, gain the webbed feet monster relic instead of randomly drawing a monster loot card. Continue the round as normal. Alright. So, first things first is we need to add them to the initiative. Since it's the very start, what does it say? Yeah, continue the round as normal. Now, I always assume since nobody's acted yet, he just goes to the front, because that's usually what happens. Usually, it usually goes right after the person that revealed the totem or whatever, but since no one's acted yet, I'm assuming it's just going to go to the front. That's how I've been playing it. I don't know if there's an actual ruling. So let's go ahead and grab that new command card. So what's neat about this side quest is this is one of the few opportunities where you can actually find a Merk Hound, and you can get that conduit card early, which, by the way, I just grabbed the conduit card, not the actual creature. And Merk Hounds are pretty interesting for a conduit summon, but they're also very, very dangerous. I cannot find... There they are. Merk Hound. Alright, and we'll grab one of these. Alright, Merk Hound. 16 health. They usually have 13 defense, but this one will have 10. 6 movement, 0 armor. The combat dice are green and red, which is pretty higher tier than what we're dealing with right now. Merk Hound is not affected by water or muck terrain and will never voluntarily leave it. If it starts its turn in water or muck, it gains +2 movement until end of turn. When opponents adjacent to the Merk Hound make a move action, they must make a Strength 10 check. If they fail, they may not make a move action. Merk Bond. When a Merk Hound attacks, it gains +2 physical damage for each Merk Hound within SOI. Now, the keyword here, so with Cave Sickles, it says other Cave Sickles. In this case, it says just Merk Hound, so it counts itself. So it just has a flat +2 physical. Submerged. While the Merk Hound is in water or muck, only adventurers who are adjacent to the Merk Hound may draw line of sight or SOI to it. So right now, my Nightingale can't target it because it's hidden in the water. It has the following actions. Is there an opponent within range 8? Make a range 8 attack. Against the opponent with the most armor, this attack has +4 armor piercing. So essentially at this point, it pierces everyone's armor. And then it says continue down. Can it move and attack multiple opponents? Move to be adjacent to as many opponents as possible. Then make a separate attack against each opponent. And then if it can't attack multiple opponents, it'll just go and target someone with the most damage within movement range instead. It gets +1 physical damage for every shield, and then it gets a follow-up from a star that does paralysis at force 12. So, needless to say, if it gets the star, it's gonna paralyze you. All right, we need a figure. We need a Merk Hound. There's one. So I haven't really. Yeah, that's a beast there. All right, so Merk Hound appears on the green objective. It goes first. It gets +2 movement because it's starting its turn in muck or water. So it has 8 movement right now. And is there an opponent within range 8? The answer is, of course, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to target the person with the most armor, which is Rook. Rook will go ahead and use his defensive core to try to dodge. Alright, he gets 1 shield, so his defense is 11 right now. It's not shooting through any special terrain, so it's just going to be a straight up roll. So, like I mentioned before, green and red. This thing is going to be pretty dangerous. Unless I roll like that. So that's 8 in total, so it misses. Alright, then it's going to move and be adjacent to attack multiple opponents. It's going to favor Rook and Remy over anyone else. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's going to go ahead and attack adjacents. I'm going to start with Remy first. Remy will go ahead and use too many belts to dodge. Alright, that's a fail. So much for that. And here comes the attack. 9, it's a miss. Alright, and then the other attack will be for Rook again. This one doesn't have the fancy armor piercing. But I will still attempt to dodge it. I'll spend one of my starting stamina to do it. And I also fail, so there goes all the skulls. Okay, well here's a star. So it's going to be 15 total. I have 10 defense, so 5 damage. Every shield adds 1, so 6 damage, 7 damage. I have 4 armor, so it's going to reduce it to 3. I'll take the damage, and then it's going to do a follow-up. Oh, that's the follow-up is the problem. So, it has a star, and the follow-up is paralysis at force 12. The only way I can counter is if I negate all the damage right now, and I need to do that. Because if I don't, it is going to paralyze Rook, and then Rook won't be able to do anything for a round. So I'm going to go ahead and use the curse now, even though I'm only taking 3 damage, and negate it entirely. And with that, I can then go ahead and counter by exhausting the medium shield and just counterattacking. I don't really care about hitting it. All I care about is being able to counter it so it interrupts the follow-up. Because when you counter it, it immediately ends their attack action. So that will stop things like poison, follow-up attacks, and in this case, paralysis. So we'll do that. Alright, and I'm also going to go ahead and exhaust the Warhammer so I can empower the swing. Because I don't really need to hit, I just need to do this thing. Alright, looks like the total is 9. Actually, we had another option. We could have used the Fate Engine, and just negate all the symbols. But since I have already rolled, I'm just going to leave it as is. In fact, it would have been smarter to use the Fate Engine. But that's fine. So yeah, I negated the damage. I missed the attack because it has 10 defense. Usually 13, but it's 10 in this case. Also, if we defeat this thing, we get Web Feet Monster Relic instead of randomly drawing a loot card, which will be our first monster loot, which we desperately need. Alright, that is it for Merk Hound. It's done its attack. Oh wait, no. Yeah, it did its attacks. The other attack missed. So it goes to Remy. Remy is adjacent, so she can attack if she needs to. But first... Actually, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just... I'm going to go ahead and attack and empower with the War Axe first. So we'll roll our 2 white dice and just go all that. We're going ham on this thing. We don't want this thing running around and beating us up. Oh my god, such horrible rolls. Alright, so it's a miss. And then, also I can't really move away anyway, because if I do I have to make a strength 10 check. Also, it doesn't matter. Also, I would have taken an additional 2 physical damage from that one attack, so it would have actually been 5 damage, not 3, because of the Merc Bond. Alright, so at this point, let's go ahead and flip summoning. We'll get our 2 summon tokens for that. And we'll go ahead and bring out Elifie. So we need to grab her initiative card. That's Elifie. There she is. And we need to grab her figure. There's Elifie. And she'll come right after us. Alright, so I can summon her anywhere within SOI. So I'm going to go ahead and summon her right here. So I can get some flanking going. Alright. And I'll take care of that. I could use these summon tokens. I'm going to hold on to them for now. And is there anything else I really want to mess with? Answer is, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and throw I'm going to go ahead and use the Animism flip effect and throw a purple at this Merk Hound. Alright, 1 damage. No point in saving it if it's not going to do anything. So Merk Hound takes 1 damage. It has no armor, so at least it did something. Alright, that is it for Remy. It goes to Elifie, her summon. So starts with 3 stamina, just like everyone else. And I'm going to go ahead and open things up with a Gore Shot, because it's free. Unfortunately, Remy only has a purple casting die, so it's just going to be a raw check here. Alright, 6 plus 6 is 12. And Merk Hound has a teal and an orange for the resistance. Or the conviction, rather. 10, so it fails. I'm going to go ahead and take an extra 2 damage, so I do, instead of doing 2 magic damage, it does 6. So it's now up to 7. Next, I'm going to go ahead and burn all 3 stamina, and I'm going to attack and empower it. I am flanking with Remy, so I get +1 to the attack. And I get to use her combat dice, so it'll be white dice. Alright, well, with +1, he brings it up to 8, and that's still a miss. These are really bad attack rolls. I blame Zeke, one way or the other. And that's it for her. At least she did some damage. She did a good chunk to it. It has 16 health, and she did 6 to it. Goes to Nightingale next. Nightingale is not adjacent to it, so you can't target it at all. I'm going to go ahead and flip her utility core and grab a random consumable. A wooden plank. So wooden planks, they can be used to either do a purple physical damage to adjacent opponent. You can use it to put a plank token on an adjacent space, which essentially kind of covers it up and turns it into normal terrain. And you can also reduce physical damage dealt to you. It's also one of the most expensive consumable items because it's rather good. I've used it to save my life a few times, or save a character's life a few times. Alright, I'll also go ahead and use up Mend and get our 2 heal tokens. And at this point, I can't really do anything with her. Everyone else is kind of in the way. So I'm going to go ahead and spend a stamina to go ahead and start moving. I'm going to go... Yeah, the Merk Hound's kind of just in the way. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to go ahead and jump across with Zeke's help. So 1, 2, 3. I need to roll 12 with 2 purple dice, plus her agility, plus Zeke's strength. Alright, 10 plus her agility by herself is 15, so that'll be a total of 19 with Zeke's help. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That puts her there. And then I can go ahead and keep moving extra a little bit, so I'll go ahead and do that. 1, because I can't shoot it because I'm not adjacent to it. 1 and 2. I'll hold on to the rest of it for... Actually, I'll use that last stamina to go ahead and keep moving. So, 1, 2. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and use her once for encounter ability. Ambitious gives her +2. And gives everyone else 1. That also includes Elephie. So she gets 1, and you get 1. Alright, so we got all that going for us. There's a red totem here and a blue totem there. The tree and the rocks are in the way, so I can't see anything. Goes to water loas. This water loa can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So nothing in range for the red loa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this water loa can actually shoot at Elephie. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. So Elephie gets a free dodge because she is nimble. So we'll go ahead and roll that first and gets +1 shield. All right, so 4 shields in total. So 14 defense, and this water loa is going to go ahead and start sniping her. Misses completely. Alright, that takes care of the water loas. Goes to Rook next. Rook will go ahead and refresh what he can refresh. Alright, he is adjacent, so he can definitely do things like Courage Stifle. Yep, So he's back at 3 stamina. He spent 1, but he got 1 back, thanks to Nightingale. Yeah, I think we don't really have any good options here. I'm going to go ahead and try to do Courage Stifle and see if we can just wreck this thing. I haven't been feeling too confident about our attack rolls. I'm going to go ahead and exhaust the Warhammer to get in power. White die because I'm using a fancy shield. Alright, so 5, 6, 7 plus 6 is 13. Alright, 9 is a fail, so it's going to do 8 damage because it's times 2 of his armor, which is 4 right now. 8 damages puts it at 15. I have nothing else that could possibly hurt it, and I can't really move here, so I'll go ahead and pass the turn. It goes to Zeke. Zeke will go ahead and use his utility core. Get a bottle blessing out of the trouble. I'll go ahead and use this free re-equip since I gained an item to go ahead and pull out one of the throwing knives. Actually, I don't really need the throwing knife, but that's okay. I'll pull it out regardless. And I'm going to go ahead and get moving. So I have a surefire way of getting this thing. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I want to jump to here. I don't want to step on the log. Actually, what's the log do again? If they fail in their movement and place their figure in a water terrain space adjacent to the special terrain. Okay, it doesn't really matter if I pass then. So I'll spend 1 point to move. And step here. And then, of course, I have to make the agility 10 check. It doesn't matter if I pass or fail. Literally where I want to go is in the water. I passed the check. I got, he has an agility of 4, so total was 13. But I am still going to go ahead and step here into the water. And then I'm going to go ahead and throw my axe. One of them. Roll purple die. 3 damage. Which is going to finish it off. Because it only has 16 health. So, alright. And then instead of drawing a loot, it says to grab the web feet monster relic. So that's what we're going to do. It is in here. So all these are specific to certain monsters. This one is the web feet. So the web feet is a relic. It counts as a material. Anything that has the keyword material means you can trade it in to the shop to unlock an upgrade, a single upgrade type. You can also use it. You can also use materials for other things, like selling for 25 gold or just getting a free upgrade of your choice. But if you can also, all of the monster loots also usually have a secondary, an actual equip effect or something. In this case, web feet gives you makes it so you do not suffer penalties when moving through water, and making a move action in muck costs 1 less SP. So the key word here is, of course, it says it moving out of water. Now, what that means is it's kind of like the same thing, the same wording for things like break attacks. Whenever you leave an adjacent tile, it doesn't matter if you're moving into another one, that counts as a break attack. Same thing for the web feet. Doesn't matter if I'm moving into water, as long as I'm leaving a water tile, it counts. So now he can pretty much move through water freely, which is really useful. So pretty much everyone's a lot more mobile now, except for Nightingale. Alright, so that's Merk Hound taken care of. You definitely don't want that thing lingering around for obvious reasons. Alright, so takes care of that. Don't need to worry about it anymore. We don't draw loot because we got the web feet instead. I'm going to go ahead and start spending stamina. I'm going to spend 1 and do Banish Knowledge and give haste to Rook. So there's that. I'm also going to go ahead and use Magic Armor. It's free if I use it on someone other than himself, and give Barrier to Rook. So Rook now has haste and Barrier, which means his armor is now 5, which means his Courage Stifle does 10 damage. Just a meager 10 damage. So we'll go ahead and up his armor to 5 just to keep track of it. I've already done my movements for this round, so there's not much else I can do right now. So I want to go ahead and end his turn. It goes to Earthloas. Earth Loas will put barrier on each other. They can't put it on themselves, but they can definitely put it on each other, which will make them both have 6 armor. So other than that, there's nothing really nearby, so they're just going to move. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to go towards Nightingale because she's the closest opponent. 1 and 2, and that's all of his movement. And then new round. So let's go ahead and reset. Oh, actually, before we do, I forgot about the current for Zeke there. So if you look, it says it goes down 1 space. So he's going to get yanked down 1 space, like so. Alright. So new rounds, hit reset. Goes Nightingale first. Alright, well, we definitely don't want to hang around this Earth Loas. So let's go get moving. She gets 3 stamina just as a normal thing. She had 2 to spare, so she's up to 5. And I don't want to fight the Loas, so let's try to get away from them. Let's spend stamina to move. I do want to see what's in the tree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's going to cost 2 stamina to get to there, and leaves me with 1 movement remaining. And then let's go ahead and flip that blue token. Blue totem. You find something entangled in the roots of the tree. Place a random loot token on the space this totem occupied. You hear a crash and peek back, hoping it isn't an Earth Loa. Instead, you are greeted with some cave sickles who burst from their underground lair. Spawn 1 cave sickle on each special terrain space in tile UM35. So those special spaces in 35 that said they didn't do anything, well, they were hiding cave sickles. So we definitely need to get a random loot token. We'll deal with that in a second. We need cave sickles. Move you guys down. We're going to need 3 of them. Okay. Cave sickles get. And then we need to add their initiative. They're going to go directly after Nightingale. Now the cave sickles are free game. They're not low S, so we can kill those. And then we need some figures. There we go. 1, a 2, a 3. Alright. And I think that's all of it. So let's go ahead and, yeah, we got everything. So I still have 1 point. Oh, wait, I need a loot token. There's not an easy way of doing this, unfortunately, because shuffling doesn't actually work on this thing. Yeah, if you hit R on it, it doesn't shuffle. If you click on the shuffle, it doesn't actually shuffle either. Not sure why it doesn't. Alright. So I'm just going to roll a die and just pick one of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll grab that one. I honestly don't know which one it is. So it doesn't really matter. I'm going to loot it one way or the other, so more likely it'll be gold or consumables, because that's usually what it is. Alright, so I still have a point. I have 1 movement left. I can either move back and try to fight those cave sickles, which I might go ahead and do. You know what? I will. I'll go ahead and move back a space. Just one thing I want to check. Yeah, random loot. Okay. Yeah, so that'll put me in line of sight of everything. I have want to go ahead and pop a fight drive. And then empower. Actually, do I need to empower? Let's just do a normal attack and see where that puts us. Alright, so I don't get any +1 attack bonus because I've definitely moved this round. And no +2 physical because none of them have done damage yet. So it's just going to be a white, an orange and a white, and we'll see what we get. Okay, so what I can do here is I can do kill the messenger and exhaust it, and turn that 2 to whatever the max die value is. If you ever want to know what the max and lowest values are for an orange die, it's this. And you can hit the number keys based off the number you want to get. So if I hit 8, there it is, 8. Or I think I hit 6 actually, but switch it to 8. That brings us to total of 12 there, which still won't be enough to kill. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and use the quiver to go ahead and re-roll that 4 and see if I can get better. That is not better. I can try to use the enchanted piercings, but that's probably not worthwhile. So total is 10. It has 8 defense. It's going to take 2 damage, 3 damage from the starburst. So that's going to be 3 damage to the red cave sickle. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop a fight drive and see if I can finish it off. Alright, 13. So this time that would have done 6 damage. But kills one of the cave sickles. And then I will go ahead and use the other fight drive. Actually, you know what? I'm going to save that fight drive. I'm happy with just killing one. Alright, that takes care of Remy. She has, or not Remy, Nightingale. It's because Remy's always been my archer, so Nightingale being an archer is throwing me off. In any case, it goes to Cave Sickles 1 through 3. Purple's going to go first. Is there an opponent within range 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so just Nightingale. Nightingale will go ahead and use her Colt Shirt to dodge. Gets a skull, so no bonuses. And it's going to roll an orange and a white because there's only one nearby. 8 is a miss. And if you successfully dodge the attack, you counter. As long as you're within range, you should be able to counter as far as what I've read. It always throws me off that this game lets you counter with ranged attacks. Oops. Duplicate. If a figure attacks a target and the target misses and deals no final damage, the target may use the counter ability during the check if the target counters a step of the attack. Alright, attack action 43. There might be some additional information. Let's just make sure we're doing this right. Alright, roll to hit, determine damage, missed attack ends. Check if the target counters, if the attack misses. Okay, so that's all it tells me. I was just making sure there's no other weird requirements. To counter, the target being attacked must have line of sight and be within range of the figure making the attack action. If the initial figure that made the attack action is blocked. Alright, may use blah blah blah. Alright. I'm just kind of seeing here. If the initial figure that made the attack is blocked by a different opposing figure, that figure may choose that figure may be chosen. Okay. So if like it was being blocked by somebody else, yeah, I can shoot it. I just never. I always thought countering was like some sort of melee thing. All right, so let's do it. Alright, that's 14 in total. With 8 defense, that means I'm doing a minimum of 6 damage plus 1 from the star, so 7 damage. That will kill the purple one. And, well, yeah, either way, it'll get kill. I'm just making sure I have the proper line. Well, if it shot me, it has line of sight. So, it kills the purple one. Now it goes to orange. Orange, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, so out of range. Can it move and hit someone in range 4? Yes, it'll go after the nearest opponent. So it's going to step here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, it'll go after highest initiative. So it's going to go after Elifie. Elifie... hasn't had a turn yet, so her nimble hasn't been... her nimble's still used. She'll just use a stamina to dodge normally. No dodges. Unfortunately, the +1 to dodge is only on the nimble dodge. Alright, so it's going to roll 2 white dice, and we'll see what happens. 10 in total, which is exactly enough to hit. Just making sure... Is it direct diagonal? Yeah, it is. Okay. So yeah, that hits, and then every shield's going to do 1 damage, so 3 damage in total to her. And she doesn't have a way of reducing it. That's fine. She has 20 health, just like Remy, so that's why I got all that health. And that's it for Cave Sickles. Goes to Elifie. Elifie will get her 3 stamina. And she'll go ahead and say hi to that Cave Sickle by introducing it to Goreshot. 1 plus 6 is 7. And they're going to roll a purple and a white. That's 11, so it resists. And then I'll spend a stamina to move. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll spend another stamina to go ahead and move an extra space, essentially, to there. Alright. That's pretty much it for her. It goes to Rook. Rook will get 4 stamina because he has haste. That refreshes. And we'll go ahead and get him moving. He'll spend 1 stamina to move. He has 7 movement because of aspect. And he ignores all terrain and allies. So he just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Actually, don't go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that'll be fine. Alright, and then he'll do Courage Stifle to that thing. He'll just roll it. He'll go ahead and empower it. No, he won't empower it. He'll just cast normally. 6 plus 6 is 12. And that... Alright, so I have 5 armor now, so I'm doing 10 damage to this Cave Sickle for a bunch of overkill. And that's dead. We'll go ahead and draw a combatant loot card. We get 5 gold. Not the best start. 3, 1. Okay, so that takes care of the Cave Sickles. We don't have to worry about them anymore. And really the only other totem is up there. Only other objectives are down here. So we're okay for the moment. It goes to Zeke. Zeke will go up to 5 initiative. First thing he's going to go ahead and do is who's nearby. Elifie and Remy. Alright, so Remy will go ahead and get a barrier. And then he'll go ahead and spend a stamina to go ahead and give her haste as well. So now she has 3 armor and haste. And then he'll spend another stamina to move. He's going to go... He has webbed feet, so he can go through the water just fine. So he'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they'll use up 2 more of his stamina. And the plan is I'm going to try to get to that red totem. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so I'm just kind counting out steps, because these things move 4 spaces and they have reach too. But I want to get to that totem and see what's behind there. Alright. He's up, and it goes to Remy. Remy will get 4 stamina thanks to the haste. And then she'll go ahead and spend stamina to go ahead and get moving. She'll actually spend 2 stamina to fly instead. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, and then 11, 12, and I'll use up all of her stamina. But we want to get moving. We want to get all the way to that blue objective. Alright, goes to water loas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, red loa still can't do anything. Blue loa can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to go ahead and shoot from here at Elifie. Elifie gets her free dodge, so I'll go ahead and do it now. Alright, +1 to this gives 12. This water loa is shooting into hindering terrain, so it's going to get -1 to the attack. That's a total of 12. 12, 13, 14, 15. -1 goes to 14. And I had 12 in total because I got +1. So it's going to do 2 damage and put some water on her. A little bit annoying, but that's fine. Just making sure I did the math right. 1, 2, 3. Also, this water loa would heal because of the starburst, but it hasn't taken any damage. So this was a total of 12, 13, 14, 15, -1. And I had 2 shields. Okay, yeah, so 2 damage exactly. Alright. Well, she's definitely taking a beating, but she'll survive. Alright, goes to Earth Loas next. They've already got barrier up, so they're good to go on that front. 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Because they're the closest. Alright, goes to new round. Let's hope. With my luck, the Earth Loas will go first. Called it. Called it. I'm a freaking scholar. Alright. Earth Loas. Red 1. No one's adjacent, so no worries on that front. Can it move? Goes to our nearest opponent. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so closest one is Zeke. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, and attack Zeke. Zeke will go ahead and use his 1 stamina that he has to go ahead and dodge. 3, so total 13 defense. And it's going to go ahead and do its attack. And misses. Alright, takes care of that. Goes to purple next. Closest is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so those are a tie. He'll go towards Remy. But 1, 2. And attack Remy. Remy will go ahead and use too many belts to dodge. And nothing. But I still get the benefit of the belts. And 7 is a miss. Okay. Well, that could have been a lot worse than it was. So that's good. Goes to Remy next. We'll send... I don't want to fight the Loas because we're trying to keep them alive. She'll get 4 stamina to move. She will spend 1 to go ahead and move. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go here. And search. So it's a red token. You find a pile of treasure, the party gains 20 gold. Pretty straightforward. Putting us at 51. Alright. With all that said and done, anything else I really want to do? I'll spend one stamina to go ahead and do Shady Trading, which just lets her move one space in any direction, including diagonal. Just get her out of there. Alright. And then I'm going to go ahead and spend a token to go ahead. I don't really want to spend a token. I think that'll be it. I'll go to Elfie next. She'll get 3 stamina. And she's definitely going to go ahead and spend 1 to move. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to go ahead and spend the rest of our stamina. So 2 more, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll put her there. Alright, goes to Waterloa. The question is there spots where she can get line of sight? Yes. Alright, so that one's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. Make sure that's center to center. Yep, I think that looks good. Alright, so it'll just be a straight shot. Remy will go ahead and use too many belts to dodge. +2, so 12 defense. 8, 9, 10, so it misses. The other Waterloa, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, still out of range. We've been pretty good about avoiding that other one. Goes to Rook. Rook is going to go up to 5 stamina, and now he's going to go sprinting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I'll go ahead and spend 2 additional stamina. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, and that'll put me in line of sight of the red totem. You find the decomposing corpse of some ancient creature. Place the green loot token on the space this totem occupied. If the green loot token has already been placed, place a random loot token instead. So green loot token. Okay. And then he'll spend his last 2 stamina to go ahead and keep moving. Going 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, Aspect is such a good level 1 ability. Literally just run through everything. Alright, that was Rook. Goes to Zeke. Zeke will get 3 stamina. He doesn't really have... He's kind of busy. He's not going to really be able to support anyone right now. Instead, he's just going to use all of his stamina to move and get out of there. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That puts him right there. Yep, that is it for him. Hindering Train still, unfortunately, slows him down a little. That is it for Zeke. Goes to Nightingale. Nightingale gets Kill the Messenger back and all of this. And she gets... She hasted? No, she's just going to get 3 stamina. She's going to go ahead and spend a heal token to heal Elfie, because she's pretty beat up. Put her back down to 1. And then she's going to go ahead and spend a stamina to get moving, to get away from those Earthloas. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that might be it for now. I mean, I could... Yeah, you know what? I'll move forward. So that was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna use up all of our movement to get next to this thing to force it to spread water everywhere. Now the new water tiles will not have current, which is the good news because the cliff is right there. All right, and then new round. Boop. Alright, goes Nightingale first. puts her at 3. She'll go ahead and move. Unfortunately, she doesn't really have a good way of getting to where she wants to be because this thing is in the way. And Ruka is going last, so that's a problem too. And we don't get to hear anything about the red location until we move on to the token. So, tell you what, we will go this way. 1, and this thing's going to go ahead and get its break attack. I'll go ahead and dodge with a Cult Shirt. Get 1, so 11 in total. Alright, total of 6, 7, so it misses. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll spend the rest of the stamina to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll see what this red objective has for us. You quickly glance over the edge of the cliff. About 20 feet down, you see a small outcropping of something shiny embedded in the side of the cliff wall. While on this token, an adventurer may try and retrieve the object by spending 1 SP to make a strength plus agility plus strength 15 check. This also counts as their move. If they fail, they are defeated. If they succeed, an adventurer with light may pass this check automatically. If you pass, read the section below. So, if we can get Remy here, that'll be great. Otherwise, I can attempt to do it. I have a total of 5 agility and 2 strength, so it'll be 2 purples plus 7, trying to get a 15. So, average wise, it's not necessarily in my favor. You pretty much just need an average roll. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and drink the MF Fortitude, get myself a stamina, and use it, and we'll see if we can get it. So 2 purple dice, and we'll see what we get. So that's 7, 8, 9, and then plus 7 brings it to 16. That's enough to pass. Yeah, it's kind of a pain because only people that are on the objective will actually get it, and so I would have to like move around, and with initiative it can get a bit of painful. But we got the 15 easily. You were able to pull a small object free from the cliffside, draw a random relic, then discard the red objective token. So random relic. So shuffle, draw, and what we got were True Flight arrows. So True Flight arrows are great because we do have a quiver and we can equip them. So good to go. I'm going to go ahead and swap out the fight drive for now because it's been used, and we'll just put the True Flight arrows. The bonus does stack, so we actually have 8 range with our bow right now, and we can also exhaust this to make attacks that can't be dodged. Besides that, that is it for the red objective. And that's it for her turn. I'm not going to do anything else. She done plenty. Okay. So with all that said and done, it goes to Earthloas. We'll start with red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It will go after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so Zeke is further up on the initiative, so it actually goes after Zeke. And it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And start barreling towards him. And the purple one's going to make its way 1, 2, 3, 4 and attack Elifie. Elifie will spend a stamina to dodge. I believe she's already used her nimble. No additional, so it's just going to be a raw hit. 11 in total, so that's a hit. It's going to do 1 damage plus 2 from shields, so 3 damage in total. And then she has to make a conviction check with, Remy's horrible conviction. 10 in total. Unfortunately, I need an 11. So push 2 and inflict paralysis. It's going to go 1, 2. And now she is paralyzed. Alright. At least she drew fire. Alright, that's it for them. It goes to Remy. Remy honestly can't do much until Rook does his job. So for right now, we'll just Elfie will be able to move again soon, so I think that'll be fine. So for now, she gets 4 stamina, putting her at 5. Reset this. We'll just get her moving. So flight plus 2 additional moves, so 10 flight movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just put her there to hang out. Alright, and then it goes to Zeke. Zeke will get 3 stamina. He'll go ahead and pop 1 to go ahead and take a look at that green loot token. You find a pile of treasure, gain 1 random animate monster loot, then remove this token from the game. Alright, so animate monster loots, that consists of the Quickened Eye, and I believe it's a shard is the other one. Yeah, there it is. So if you look specifically at the cards themselves, animate relic, animate consumable, we're going to put these in a deck together, and then I'm going to hit shuffle once and take whatever's on top. So shuffle. Alright, animate relic. So this thing is essentially monster loot material, and once per encounter you can make an attack. So it's very similar to a fight drive. Probably not going to keep it. We're probably going to trade that in for an upgrade, because we definitely need upgrades. So, and then the other one just goes back to the loot deck. And then with his remaining stamina, he's going to get the hell out of there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I guess. Might as well stay as far away as possible. Goes to Elfie. Elfie is paralyzed. Sorry about that. Elfie should not have been going next. We just finished Zeke's turn, and it should be Water Lois next. So Water Lois are going to go ahead. This one's going to go ahead and move in and get a shot off on Nightingale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So from here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so from here I can go ahead and take the shot. I have no Nightingale has no stamina left, so it's just going to be a raw shot. 10 in total because of the books. It's a hit, but it's not going to do any damage, but that's enough to go ahead and put a water tile down. And then the second one's going to attack. I'm in water, so I can't dodge anyway. 7 in total. And then it's going to put water tiles everywhere and then move away. It's elusive, so it won't provoke. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, that's Water Lois. I actually had to rewind a little bit, so that's why there's a jump cut. Because I actually had started the next round, because I thought I skipped 2 people, apparently. Goes to Rook, and it's actually pretty important, because Rook is going to go ahead and deliver the football. So 1, 2, well, before we start, give him his stamina. Gets 4. He'll spend 1 to move. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he's going to spike it. I think it's just an action, right? Counter action, so he has to spend a stamina. And then we get to read what happens. You did it! The Loa crystal has been placed back on the pedestal, and by the looks of things, the Loas have calmed down too. Remove all Water Loas and Earth Loas from the board. This does not count as defeating them. Now you can get out of here. Place the blue exit token on any space on the west side of the starting zone. That's an objective. That's a yellow exit. Where's my blue exit? Thank you. So anywhere on the west side, we'll put it right there. It was on any space on the west side. You step down from the altar, but a growl startles you, causing you to spin on your heels. Behind you, a Gavadan is displeased that you trespassed on its territory. Spawn a Gavadan in the southeast corner of tile 45. It howls, calling for the rest of its pack. Spawn another Gavadan on any unoccupied space on the north side of UM 35. Alright then. So, we'll go ahead and drop off the crystal because we don't need it anymore. We need 2 figures. We need both Gavadins. It's been a little while since we fought a Gavadin. It feels like. There they are. Gavadin 1, Gavadin 2. Yeah, that's why I also had to rewind, because I was like, well, we're going to be fighting Gavadin in a second. Alright, so Gavadin 1 was going to spawn on the it says specifically behind you, spawn into Gavadin's southeast corner, so it's going to go right there. And the other one says anywhere on the north side of UM35. UM35 is up here. Give it a straight beeline towards somebody. Alright. My turn isn't over yet with Rook. He still has 2 stamina left, so he'll go ahead and spend both to do Courage Stifle and target the Gavadin right there. And he'll go ahead and empower it. And we'll see if we can make things happen here. Nope, he'll deal 3 damage to himself instead. So 3 damage to himself. And that is it for that. Alright, now it goes to the Gavadin. I need to pull their actual card out. Gavadin. At this point, there are no other objectives or anything on the board, so we can go ahead and start putting away some of these. Oh, also, it did say remove all Loas. Yeah, remove all water Loas and earth Loas that are not defeated. I wonder if it's more worthwhile to kill the Loas just with a chance of getting drops. But not a big deal. All this goes back away. Back away. And we'll just borrow the health things from that. There you go. So all that's left on the board are Gavadin now. Right, red Gavadin will move to be reach 2 from the nearest opponent. It's a tie between Remy and Rook. Remy is higher. Actually, sorry, nearest opponent. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, it's going to be Rook. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and attack Rook. Rook will go ahead and use a core to dodge. No symbol or no shields. Roll 2 teal. That is a max hit right there. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, since I've already burned my Chris, is I'm going to go ahead and use the Fate engine, and I pick one die to have no symbols on it. I'll go ahead and pick the 8. So it's still going to be 15 in total, but the only symbols that will be available is the 7. The 7 is going to reduce his armor by 1 with the book, and plus 2 physical damage. I have 10 defense, so 15 becomes 5. 6, 7, and technically 8 from the, well, let's do this right way. So I have 5 armor, the book will make it 4 armor. So, and then it was 15 minus 10 plus 2, so 7. I have 4 armor, so it's going to do 3 damage, putting me at 6. Alright, and then after that, then move to be reach 2 from the farthest opponent within movement range. 1, 2, they move what, 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I guess I'll just be here and attack Remy. Move to be within reach 2 from the farthest opponent within movement range, which would just be this person. And then make an attack within reach 2, which will still go after... Okay, now I'll go after Remy. Remy will go ahead and use belts to dodge. Fails. Completely misses, it looks like, and I don't have reach, so it doesn't matter. That's it for that one. And then the other one is going to go ahead. Can it move and attack an opponent within reach 2? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it can't reach anybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope. Not at all, actually. I'm a little surprised. Alright. That takes care of that then. Then it goes to Elifie. Elifie is paralyzed. Now it wears off and she gets immunity to paralyze. and she'll still get her 3 stamina, but she didn't get to use any of it. And then it goes to new round. Reset initiative. Alright, Nightingale goes first. Goes up to 3 stamina and undoes that. Alright, from her position, she has 8 range now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can just stay still and shoot. And this Gavaden did damage, so I'm going to get extra to it. So +1 to attack because I haven't moved, and I'll get +2 physical because of fancy things. Also, since I have combo archery, I can exhaust this before making an attack to ensure that this Gavaden can't dodge. Because usually it dodges. And I can't turn it for some reason, so I'll just do that. So I'll exhaust one of the arrows. I'm going to go ahead and burn a... I'll just do a regular attack and empower it. So it'll be all of this together. And we'll roll. Alright, total is 12. These things have a defense of 10. So total is 12. +1 because of not moving. It's shooting through hindering, so -1, so it just evens out. So 12 in total. -10 defense is 2 damage. +2 because it wounded somebody, so it's 4 damage. And then if I have 5 shields, which I have exactly 5 shields thanks to the empower die, I do an additional 6 damage. So that would be 10 damage in total. So yeah, 10 damage in total. I'm okay with that result. Alright, and then it's gonna go. She'll go ahead and pop her fight drive and exhaust her other arrow, so it still can't dodge. Can't empower it, and we'll just do another attack. That's 13 in total, which will hit and do 2 additional physical damage and all that good stuff, and it's just gonna kill it. There's no questions asked. So we'll go ahead and draw a loot card. 5 gold. Alright, we're not going to get much for the drops here, it looks like. We have one more drop, and that's it. Alright, and we still have to get to the exit in time. Alright, and that is it. There's no current on the water tile I'm on, so I don't need to worry about it. Anything else of note? Nope. Alright, goes to Zeke. Alright, so Zeke is going to get 3 stamina. His stuff will refresh. Actually, it should have already been refreshed. He'll go ahead and just spend this round buffing himself. And yeah, we need to remove you off the board. Alright, so he's going to get courage and he's going to get barrier and haste, which this was from when I was doing things in the wrong order. Alright, and then Remy will get 4 stamina, putting her at 5. And she's going to go ahead and... Where is she? Oh, she's down there. Alright, she's going to spend 2 to fly, and then the rest to move extra, so she'll move 8, 10, 12 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Putting her right there. And then refresh her stuff. And I think that's good enough. Alright, and then it goes to Elifie. Elifie will get a bunch of stamina. She'll spend 1 and deal damage to herself to give herself barrier. Might as well. And then she'll go ahead and move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we'll go ahead and attempt to do Gore Shot on the Gavaden. So purple die. 6 plus 6 is 12. It gets a white die. It gets 2 white die for its conviction. Doesn't survive it. It's going to take 6 damage because I'm going to take the 2 damage extra. And that is it for her. Alright, so it goes to Gavaden. Gavaden will, of course, move up and say hello to this Elifie. Elifie will get her free dodge with Nimble with +1, so 13 in total. 13 in total, go figure. The book is going to cancel out the barrier because it's 1 armor piercing now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 damage in total, putting her at 12. Good thing I have 20 health on Remy. And then it's going to go ahead and move to attack the furthest in range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. Furthest away is actually Zeke, so it can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like this and attack diagonally. It'll be -1 to the attack. And I don't have any dodges, so it's just going to be a raw attack at -1. 8, so misses. Alright. Then it goes to Rook. Rook will get his 4 stamina back. And hopefully regain his pride. So we'll go ahead and send him moving. He has aspect, so he has 7 movement and ignores everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we'll spend 1 more to keep going. 1, 2. Do I have a sight for this one? Nope. Then better idea. We'll move all the way up to here. And I'll use up all of his stamina. I'll use up 1 of his stamina. So it brings him down to 1. And unfortunately, he doesn't have a way of following up here. So, new round. No worry about urgency because the other Gavada is acting. Speaking of acting, it's going to go ahead and attack the adjacent opponent, which is going to be Rook. Rook will go ahead and burn his defensive core to dodge. Nothing. Or sorry, it's not going to be Rook, it's going to be Zeke. Oh wait, no, it will be Rook. Yeah, because he's closest. 13 in total. He's gonna bypass 1 armor, so it's gonna go down to 4. Let's see, it's at 3 because of defense. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 -4, so 4 damage. He'll take it. He's getting a bit haggard here. Then after that, it's going to move to be up to reach 2 from the farthest opponent and has +4 movement now, so he moves 10. Farthest opponent would be Elify. 1, 2. Well, we'll do the break attack first. He will go ahead and empower it. And the Gavadan will dodge. He gets 4, so 14 in total. And you auto-mess. Alright, so that means it's going to counterattack him. Because of course it will. He'll use the last stamina to dodge. Also, the Gavada now has courage, and of course I rolled another skull. So it's going to get courage, because it dodged. Yep, and it's going to use up its counter. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way. 12 in total, so that's... So it's going to get +1 to all the symbols. So it's going to be 3 books. So his 5 armor becomes 2 armor. The 12. So he has 2 armor. There are 2 shields. I'm just going to. So there's 12 -10, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the shield here, and then it's like 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 7 because of the starburst, and then I reduce it by 2. Taking 5 damage, putting him at 15. He has 18 health, so he's almost killed himself. All right, but yeah, the nasty part was all the freaking armor piercing there. Anyway, I'll go ahead and keep moving now, and get to here. I'll see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So essentially, I can go here and attack without any hindrance. Elify will go ahead and spend 1 to dodge. Alright, 4, so 14 in total. 13 in total. God, this particular Gavadan has been just a beast. And since it missed, courage goes away. So we're good on that front at least. Alright, Nightingale goes next. Nightingale is nowhere near anybody. She'll spend stamina to go ahead and move. So 6, 8, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's make sure I did that right. Where was the token? It was right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. So right there. Oh, actually 10 can go there technically. We'll go up instead. Alright, and that's it for her. These go no longer get exhausted. Goes to Remy. Remy will get her 4 stamina because she's hasted. She'll spend 1 to move. This Gavadin has already dodged, so we're good on that front. 1, 2. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and put her there. We'll go ahead and take a swing. We'll spend everything to go ahead and empower. And miss completely. That's it for that. I'm going to go ahead and spend a summon token at this point, since I know that we can just go to the exit net next and have Elifie move for free. So I can use any ability or action that's available as part of a summon token, and then I'll use the other summon token to go ahead and do an attack action. So it's going to go ahead and Elifie will just go ahead and attack normally with +1 flank. And miss. Alright, that takes care of that. Goes to Zeke. Zeke will get 4 stamina because he's hasted this time. He's going to go ahead and spend 2 to go ahead and get started on his movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 10, 11. I'll put him right there. At this point, I'll go ahead and use his throwing axe, or his hand axe to throw it, for 3 damage. Putting him at 9. And that'll be it. I'll see if the others can finish it off. I could have actually reached it and just used the freaking Quicken Eye to attack, but that's fine. Actually, I haven't finished my turn yet, so you know what? Yeah. I'll use that last bit of movement to actually get to where there. You should do that during your move action, so I just would have to do that in a different order. I have to finish the move, throw the hand axe, then use the Quicken Eye. So I'll use the Quicken Eye. No flanking, but I do get 2 white dice. My attack rolls have been just garbage. Good thing this fight doesn't have very much fighting. Alright, now it goes to Rook. Rook will get his 4 stamina. Rook has 3 health left, by the way. So I'll go ahead and spend 2 stamina to go ahead and just move 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, I don't need to spend both. We'll just leave that. Alright, and then I'll spend 2 to go ahead and cast Courage Stifle. It's too risky to use an Empower die, so I'm just going to cast normally. 5 plus 6 is 11. And 10. So I do 10 damage to him, killing him. Alright. 6 gold. Alright. Yeah, not much on the gold front. So 62 in total. And then that is it for his turn. Gavadin are off the board. Goes to Elifie. Elifie will get her stamina. She'll spend 4 stamina to move. And go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that'll be enough to get her off the, that's the exit. So each party member gains 1 experience and then restore all adventurers, and then lower problems are solved. +1 experience. and we'll do the results next time, because this has gone on very, very long. So, I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this was Middara. I'll see you guys later.